Hi, kindergartners. It's Mrs. Hoskin. It is Wednesday, April 29th. Yesterday, we read a story called Come Along, Daisy, and it was written by Jane Simmons. And we talked about the habitat of this little duckling and the other habitats of the other animals that she went on her adventure with. Today, we have another book written by the same author and illustrator. This book's by Jane Simmons as well. It's called Daisy and the Egg. It's the same character. That's Daisy from yesterday's story. This story doesn't necessarily talk about habitat, but it does talk about baby animals. And we talked about baby animals a couple weeks ago, and I just thought it would be fun since we just read Daisy yesterday. So let's see what adventure she has today. How many eggs now? Asked Daisy. 4. And Mama's green one. Your aunt's sitting on an egg for me, explained Mama Duck. Can I sit on one too? Asked Daisy excitedly. Okay, so the words told me that her aunt was sitting on eggs. So this must be Daisy's aunt. And then her mom said that the aunt was sitting on one of her eggs. Her egg was that green egg right there. Ooh, the words and the pictures give me a lot of information about the story. And Daisy asked if she could sit on an egg too. It wasn't easy. There she is next to her aunt. But look how big that egg is. Daisy's having a real hard time sitting on top of it. Every day, Mama Duck sent Daisy over with food for Aunt Buttercup. So there's Daisy with some food in her mouth. And she's swimming across the river. Remember yesterday we learned they lived in the river, and it looks like the aunt is on the river bed. She's in a nest, and she's bringing food for her aunt. Because did you know when chickens and ducks and other fowl are sitting on their eggs, they're not supposed to leave them for very long because they sit on them to keep them nice and warm. And so if they leave, 1, the eggs can get too cold, or 2, some predators, some other animals that like to eat eggs might sneak in there and take them. So she's staying on her nest, and Daisy is being helpful and bringing her food so she doesn't have to leave her eggs. Daisy listened as the chicks tapped softly inside their shells. You'll have a brother or a sister soon, said Aunt Buttercup. Daisy was so excited. When Daisy and Mama Duck went to visit Aunt Buttercup the next day, she was flapping her wings. They're hatching, she called. Oh, how exciting. So we can talk about beginning, middle, and end again. At the beginning, the aunt was sitting on the eggs. In the middle, they're starting to hatch. Let's see what happens next. One of Aunt Buttercup's ducklings had cracked its shell. Daisy watched her first cousin struggle out. So there, do you see that little crack in the egg? Oh, and there's the baby. It popped right out of that egg. Yuck, he's all wet, said Daisy. Shh, scolded Mama Duck. Then Aunt Buttercup's other 2 ducklings hatched. Oh, all 3 of hers have hatched now. That's exciting. While Mama Duck and Aunt Buttercup talked about names, Daisy waited for Mama's egg. She thought she heard something, but nothing happened. Oh, she's checking out that egg. They all listened, but still there was no sound from the egg. Oh, so now we can see the 3 new baby ducklings and the aunt and the mom and Daisy and that green egg. Nothing's happening yet. That night, Mama Duck sat on her egg, but the next day it still hadn't hatched. Some eggs don't hatch, said Mama Duck. Come and play with your cousins, Daisy. But Daisy wanted to stay with Mama's egg. Oh, what's the problem? Yeah, the egg's not hatching. Daisy made a hole in the feathers, rolled the egg in, and sat on top. Come along, Daisy, called Mama Duck, but Daisy wouldn't move. So there's Mama and the ducklings and the aunt go swimming, and Daisy stayed right there with that egg. It was getting dark, and Daisy was cold and tired. She is on that riverbank, cuddled up with that egg. Mama Duck came back. "We'll sit together until morning," she said kindly. "Yes," said Daisy. Oh, that was nice of her mom to come back to help her. Pip, pip, pip. Daisy woke up. It was the egg. Her new brother struggled out of the shell and said, "Pip, pip." "Quack," said Daisy. "Pip," he said again. "Pip," said Daisy. "Hello, Pip," said Mama Duck. Oh, he hatched. What a good ending to our story. And together they watched the sun rise on little Pip's hatching day. Oh, I love this story. Daisy would not give up, and that baby brother finally pipped out. That's amazing. And if we talk about habitats, their habitat was at the edge of the riverbank in a little nest for the entire story. And let's talk about beginning, middle, and ending real quick. Beginning, the ant was sitting on the eggs to hatch them. The middle, the ant's babies hatched, but the green egg didn't hatch. And Daisy was so sad and worried. She stayed with them and stayed with them and stayed with them. And at the end, he finally hatched, and they were all able to be together. All right, kindergartners, it is so great to read to you. I will talk to you later. Bye.